Okay, sorry about that, guys. Thank you so much, Gretch. I appreciate you. All right, so again, sorry about that on YouTube, my friends. Um, so on TikTok, it's going to seem like I'm doing this again, but I just want to say welcome to the guys. I forgot to turn my sound on, and so we're going to we're just pretty much practicing some head shapes here. We're just warming up to see like what it is we can do, right? So let's see here. This head shape here is more of a, it's like a little baby head shape here. All right, so these are just ones you can keep drawing over. I don't know if you ever seen babies with real fluffy jaws down here. So if you ever get something like that, that'll be kind of how you do it. So if you're the type of person, if you get confused by that, what I like to do is just do it over and over again until I get that concept right. Then once I get this concept right, that leads me into being able to further manipulate my shape, right? We'll do some other head shapes here too, so I can make it a little bit taller, right? I don't know, something about this now looks like a loaf of bread to me. I don't know. But these are like kind of where your eyes will go here. So I'm just going to practice these different relationships. Okay, let's see what they give me. I'm going to be using the same features over and over again, right? Kind of putting them in different spots. So if I do this one again, for instance, okay, it might you might go underneath it like this. Put my ear shapes. Maybe I might go smaller with the same ear shape. Sometimes you have to feel in your heart that you're going the right way. It's nothing that can technically be discovered. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and move those eyes closer together. Let's see what kind of look we'll get with that. So you can see here, this look here gave me a much different baby look, right? I'm gonna add some hair to the baby. Maybe I'll go here and I can add some little hairs to the baby like that. See? I can give him a cool little haircut, right? Right? You can see how you can make a real cool kid out of these. All right, let me see here. Let's practice another head shape here. Let's practice another head shape, Harry. All right, what about this head shape here? What can I do with this shape? What can I make out of that? Okay, this is like a little cupcake head shape, or they call it a pentagon, but I mean, I would curve it a little bit and make it look like a cupcake, because a cupcake has like a little wrinkled paper here, right? I always find that I draw things more convincingly when I relate them to food. So perhaps I'm a foodie. If you're a foodie, right, you might want to relate things to food. If you're a mechanic, right, you might want to relate things to mechanics. So it's really about what you do. You take what you know, right? Some ears up here, maybe a mouth right here, maybe some eyes here. I'm gonna use the same nose from here. I'll just use a simple one because this is just practice for the idea. So this could be a bigger shape of the same idea here. Okay, so we kind of did the same thing. The only thing, this person looks a little bit older, obviously. Now, what kind of haircut would somebody have when they do this? You know what? When I'm thinking about this, you might think about like a girl that has her hair like a plain Jane hair girl, like girl hair cut, like style like this. So this might be something you could do from that shape if you notice the way the hair falls. And then you can put like curtains here, like drapes, right? So what I'm thinking about is this shape here being like a little window, right? If I did this, this would be like a little window up here, right? And then I'll just kind of come around it like this. See what I'm saying? So it gives you that little curtain look that you like. I like for my cartoons there. Okay. All right, let me see here. Okay, now this song right here is killing me. It makes me feel like I'm in a that seems funny. Yeah, you just can't play what you want on here. You got to go by their playlist. I think I might try this playlist here. It gets me a little bit. Okay, so this is a good one, the cupcake head. Now, when you use the cupcake head, right, just remember you're looking for somebody that has like a kind of a pointy forehead shape. You know, you can do all kinds of haircuts with this. This is like a really, or if somebody has a very like, I don't know, big angled shape head, but their head is also very fleshy, has a lot of dead space in it. Right, so I go here and just do the same thing. Maybe I might move this nose. Maybe I might make the nose a little bit. Maybe I might go down with the nose on this one, like a U here, and then I could just do like this in relation to that shape. So this person might be over here. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Something I just found out right there. Maybe if I line those up, that might be best. Okay. I just found out something. Let me put that note here. I got a big book here full of different notes and things that I've just taken over the years. If you ever take a class with me, this is kind of where I get most of my teaching material from here. I can go from anything from how to use, how to draw the body in a very simple form. And you'd be surprised how many people I've turned into artists that said they could never draw a straight line, right? I was like, what are you talking about? You can draw a straight line. Okay. All right, now let me see here. What other kind of, whatever we can do with this cupcake shape here, I think we can take this cupcake shape and move over here somewhere. We got plenty of paper here. So we can also turn that cupcake upside down, right? Which reminds me, it's Veterans Day today. I get a free cupcake somewhere. So here now you can see the cupcakes turned upside down, and we can just kind of manipulate where we want to put things here. So this one makes a much different shape for our character, right? You see the hair, the forehead's a little bit more square here. Maybe you might have like a little hairdo like this. Maybe he has a baseball hat, maybe. Right. I can't get the whole baseball hat in there, but I'll just do like this. And we'll put a C up there for Chicago. He's a Cubs fan. Right? So here you can see that we did an upside down one. So you can notice that by feeling here, I got a lot of jaw space here, right? I got some square head up here. So these are places I'm looking around for. A lot of versatility with this, but mostly I can see that this shape I can use for maybe flaring the jawline, right? My jawline actually does like this a lot, so this one right here would be a good one for that. Let me see. So let's see what else we can do to further manipulate this. Let me just sharpen the pencil here. Okay, and so we can take that same upside down cupcake shape, and maybe we can flatten it a little bit. And you know what it starts to look like now? It starts to look kind of like, you know what it looks like? It looks like the Superman symbol. Like if I draw a little small Superman over here, but kind of upside down almost. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking of it, because let me see. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's just softer. All right. So it kind of looks the same. All right. Superman. So if you see Superman, oh, wow, crazy. So Superman does have that kind of face. He has the jaws that look big and muscular, right? He has a square or rectangular forehead. So that means if you can describe that to yourself, right? Hey, Gordon, how are you today? Welcome to the stream. If we can describe that to ourselves, what we're trying to do to ourselves, or if we can describe our observations, a lot of the times that'll key us into what basic shape that you want to lose. Actually, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. All right. Let me see. Do I have a goal here already? I think I got a goal. Okay. Oh, here it goes. All right. Okay. All right. Let me see here. So let me go over here. Let me just move this up here. I want to find a. I want to go to basic shapes here. I usually keep some up here, but I didn't put. Do I have any basic shapes on this one? No, but I can type it in here. I can just say basic shapes. Basic shapes. Okay. All right, so here we got some basic shapes over here. These look pretty black and white. These are kind of. I'm trying to look for something that has a little bit more color to it. Let's see here. And these are good, excellent, excellent things to practice from. Look at those. Now those look real nice right there. You see that these are going to give you an idea of what we're trying to do here. Let me let me download this image real quick. Let's open it up and see what we got. Okay, now I'm gonna bring this down some here. Okay, cool. So these are the shapes that we're focused on here, right? So this one looks something like this. This is that pentagon shape right here. So you can see the ways in which you can use it. This is really what you need to learn uh, uh, to use, and then this will in turn again help you to identify what head shape. I'm good. We're changing my workstation and situation. Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? I know you're gonna find it soon, man. So you see here, if you look here, this is kind of like what we want to do. When the person has the right head shape, we can come back and just put, our features in there and change it up, right? So we got a smiler, right? And what can we do with this head shape? If this was a female head shape, maybe you might see a person like this. Usually people with this kind of a head, they're going to want some kind of round haircut to kind of balance out their head. So I think of it like maybe some jelly beans right here. Maybe some jelly beans on the side of the head, right? So, hey, what's going on, Jeremiah? How are you, man? I saw you the other day. You had shared something with me. Um, where you? It looks like you were getting baptized or something. Or you at church? What were you in that video? I mean, in the video, the picture that you sent me. Okay, so here you can see we got some, some jelly beans on top, on side of there. We're gonna go ahead on the back of this paper because we don't waste no paper, right? And we're just gonna try some more basic but simple exercises before, and then we'll go into caricature, and we'll pull out some faces and see what we can't do. Okay. Hey, thank you so much, Will. I appreciate that rose right there. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I got one rose there. Okay. Uh, Let me see here, guys. So let's go ahead and do our, this one right here is a rectangle, right? So what kind of things can we do with a rectangle? And what does a rectangle give us? So we have rectangles, and then we can put like whatever options that we want. What can this rectangle do for us? So when we can see here that, well, if somebody has a pretty like straight across jawline, almost where you can't really recognize the chin a lot, you'll see something like that. Maybe let's look at what a character would look like. You can basically see it here, that we just put our two eyes here, right? And then we're just basically pretty much changing the relationships of those things. Another cool technique I saw was to use, like, if you can do it this way, or you can use this T-shape type technique in which you kind of use this to put your eyes and noses in the picture, right? And then you put your mouth down here. So I've seen that in a lot of different caricature books. That's like not a new thing, but it is something nevertheless that you can do. Um, oh, not but at least not in the rain. Hey, man, that's cool. All right, let me see here. So we'll go here, and then we can just change that T shape up, right? And we can do like this. All right, here goes some eyes here, eyebrows, right? Uh, and then just this usually would be the end of the nose before you get to the mouth, right? So I try to draw from all easy positions. I know some caricatures try to do a lot on the drawing board, right? But not me. So I can do a T shape also with a that looks like a. I'm not even sure what this looks like, but this is kind of like a three-quarter shape. So you got your eyes here, your nose, and then you got your mouth, right? And then usually I just put my ears next to the top of the T right there. Just go here, okay? And we'll just do four of these and then we'll go to the next shape. Okay, what do we have here? Maybe we got a T shape up here, right? So our eyes would go here, eyebrows, right, our nose, and then maybe this person has like a really big mouth to fill in everything with, right? And then you can see here, this would be a person that has like those wide jawlines, okay? Now most people don't truly have a straight up square face, but again, caricature is is about exaggerating what you're seeing, right? And making it into things, simple things, okay? All right, so let me see here. I think that I am done with I think I'm done with warming up here. I can put necks all kind of ways. You see how I changed the neck up, right? These are all brothers, right? These are square brothers, right? Hi, my name is John. This is Jack. This is uh, J Man, and this is Jacob, and we are the Square Brothers, right? Why is it? Because we have square heads, right? We're blockheads. Yes, we can be the Square Brothers or the blockheads, whichever way you want to call us, right? Okay. And one last one, I think I want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is easy, again, basic exercise you can use for shape manipulation. Even if you put all of the features in this and you use the same exact T shape for each one. Let's say here we can't use the same, we can it's about the same size in each face. So you see how we kind of put them all on the same line? I did this just for practice purposes, right? But I just want to show you. Okay, so all of these are going across. Then we got our nose going inside of here. We got our eyes going in here, right? And then we got our mouth shape. So what we'll do is we'll put a mouth right here, put a mouth right here, put a mouth right here, and put a mouth right here, all right? And then we put some ears here, 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 here. Okay, so here's a situation where we use all the same shapes in each picture. And I like the way here that it came out looking like a different person because of the way that I changed the way the head shape looks. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so here we go, guys. We're gonna get into some pictures. I'm gonna go back here to Pinterest. Okay, and we'll find us a couple of faces that we can use. We got buzzed hair, we got pixie cut wigs, curly afros. We'll start with strong. Let me see, strong jawlines. Strong jawlines. Just look that up. All right, so we got a lot of men here that have strong jawlines. So I'm going to test my theory a little bit here. Okay, so the first shape that we started, I remember somewhere back here, we did this Superman shape, right? Which looks kind of like this. And what I said in my picture was that this shape, right, can be used to draw people with a strong jawline, depending on which way you turn it. So if you turn it upwards, let me see, one, wait, was that one, two, three? All right, that's this part, and then four, five. Oh, okay, there it is. So it's like a cupcake shape, actually. Or let me see, one, two, three, four, five. Yeah, I'm right. Okay. All right, so this is the shape that I would want to use, but what I did was I kind of manipulated it. As long what you have to learn how to do is count the sides of your picture. So if you got one, two, three, four, five. All right, Superman has one, two, three, four, five. So that's all we got to do. So if we go over here, we're going to try to draw. I don't know. Let's just try this guy. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to go one, two, three, right? Four. Actually, we need six, so we're going to have to blunt the edge of it and then come back over here with that. So this would be something that we could use. Let me see if we could use this to draw this guy as a cartoon. Let's say even if we left these out and we just said one, two, three, four, five. Basically, what I would do here is I would say, okay, here's my eye line, and then let's see what kind of cartoon just we could come up with just by focusing on the shape in here and not putting in these little protrusions or heart type, double heart type protrusions in your face. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So let me see here. Let's go with I don't know. Let's see what our T shape would be. So our T shape for this one, I think would be something like this. This would be where the top of his T would be. So I would do something like this. This would be his eyebrow shape, by the way. Okay. And so many ways you can use it. And then maybe you can use it for the nose shape here. One, two, three, four. Okay. Now this one, I don't know what that looks like as a shape itself. This idea. Because what I like to do is think of the idea. All right. Because if we got the eyebrows and the nose, well, then we know that whatever we put here, right, would be his eyes, and then you have the shape here. And this shape is going to be my hexagon, right? Basically, okay? And then you have your chin. And then up here, right, we have, let me see. We got a shape that does like this, two, three, four. And then we got a shape that goes one, two. And then we got a shape that goes one, two. And his fade kind of stops in here somewhere. Okay. So I think that it does still look like him. If we keep it like on a real basic level, it still looks like him. And then if you want to, you can add stuff to the shape. So you can do like this and add this in to the Superman shape. You see? So this head shape, really, if we break it down, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Add, add. And then it's the next shape, right? So you got that, and then you got a small semicircle, right? All right, and then you have this shape here, one into here, out and into here. So these really are two triangles here. So let's put tri over here and tri over here and semicircle over here. These are both add-ons and an add-on here. Okay. That looks great. That looks great. All right. So, and then we have our ear shape here. All right. So we're going to practice some more with this Superman idea. This is for people with those strong jaw lines. I'm not going to try to cover every type of head shape in one video because this is really just practice, okay? All right, remember Saturday Night Live, Conehead Aliens. Yeah. Okay, let me see. Let me get a little water here. Parch myself here. All right, let's look over here. Let's see what else we got. We got now this guy right here, he seems to be the same type of head shape, right? So if I just flip my paper over, no need to waste paper, right? So we'll come back over here, okay, and we'll do something like this. Let's see here. All right, we're gonna do, watch this. So we're gonna offset it. So look, 1, okay, 2, 3, and then we want to put where our 6th side is going to be here. So we don't go, and then we just going to go down with it. So we're going to go from here. Actually, this is closer to this side of the face. So I want my shape to be right about over here. So this is going to be my 6th side, right? So what I'll do is I'll go from here to here and from here to here. So you can see the shape has kind of been skewed. It really looks like a coffin now, right? Like a RIP, and then you can do your add-ons here. So you have your add, right? And then you also have a little add here, a smaller add. So over here we said that this would be a semicircle. So let's see if that works out by adding a curly hair semicircle. So we're going to do, remember what we said here? We said semicircle. So semicircle. I just drew a semicircle, but I just used a curvy line to create the semicircle. Then over here we have a triangle. Okay, we said triangle. So we got a triangle here, and then we got a smaller triangle over here. And then we have our ear shape. Okay. All right, and then we have our neck shape. So you can see how we were able to put that together. Now we have a triangle, and then we also going to have to bring this down some. So we have our triangle is going to go, when it's 3/4 view, the triangle comes from here and goes back down to this point. So let's put a triangle, a large triangle for when we do 3/4, and a small one over here. Okay, so this is a 3/4 view picture with the Superman shape, or if you prefer to call it a coffin, you can do it either way. Or a coffin. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. So let's practice a little bit more with that. Some chiseled hair, chiseled faces, right? Seems like we can't miss with that one because now this one right here, we got another one, right? And we can tell this is the shape because we can see these deep, we can see these deep curves, these deep lines, shadow lines in the face. So we can tell that this shape is virtually the same. So when I start drawing, now, but from what I understand, I'm just going to go like this, right? And then I just go into it. Boom, boom. And I can make a light line here if I'm drawing live, right? And then I just come back here and I bring it in, right? And then I start doing this in the inside, but then I put my semicircle, right? And remember, we said we have a large triangle over here and a much smaller triangle over here, and then you can see the ear shapes coming out here. So you can see now, because we understand this, and we drew this so many times in this really elementary way, elementary drawing, which is nothing wrong with elementary drawing. You start off with elementary, then you're going to get more advanced when you go over here. And then so you're going to, it's fully okay for you to start here, but the key is to learn the shape, and then learn the shape, and then draw that shape again, until it just kind of gets into muscle memory, and then you start drawing that shape in an advanced way. And then you add one more shape to your arsenal every day that you understand. And then, so I kind of use the same shapes every time to do certain faces. Okay, so let's go back here, see if we can find, look at all these faces that we know how to draw now. It doesn't matter if we got this guy. I don't know if his face is going to come up. Oh, let me see here. All right, well, let's look at this guy. Okay, you can see here, I can see that hard line in his face, so I know what I must do there. I must come over here and say, okay, this is one. I'm going to make the top of the head, right? And then I'm just going to go into where I want my line to be, the bottom of my coffin shape. You get what I'm saying? So you're looking at the, actually here, all right, because you can see the cheekbones are right here, right? So we're here, and then we'll just come back and we'll say, okay, we got a high cheekbone. We got a high cheekbone, so we come here, boom, come back into the shape, and then we come out here. We can go triangle here, right? And then we can come back down here from underneath the triangle, and we can add that other shape in there, right? That connecting shape. So you can see the cheekbones here. And then we can come back over here and do something like that, right? Okay. I wonder, let me see. I guess because that's a straight line, you really wouldn't see that much. You would see it more on this side. You can even add a line. Once you do that, you can add a line here. So this will add, by adding this shape here, right? You can add, that's that fold outside of the eyebrow. So you can see the eyebrow is kind of coming in here like this. You get what I'm saying? And then your mouth shape. He has a kind of it's weird. It's almost like a hexagon mixed with a heart shape, right? It's like a hexagon mixed with a heart shape. So that's what you'll see there, right? And then you got your neck shape coming out here, right? And then you got your semicircle. You can make it tall or as short as you want, triangles. And then remember, this one comes all the way down to that line. So we want to be out here, and then we want to come back in. So here, we have a good idea of what we want to do. Then we come back here and we'll say something like that, right? And we got a good, like, little cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. All right, now let's. I think that we touched on the Superman one just enough. What time is it now? 10:35. Okay, I'm not gonna keep you guys long today. All right. Just real quick, couple of announcements for you guys. I am promoting my classes, so if you want to take a one-on-one class with me, I'm not a university or anything like that. I just know how to draw caricatures, and I know how to teach people how to do it. Okay. So if you want to just get a down-to-earth caricature lesson when you feel like you actually learned something, you can go to rouseworld.com. You go /classes, and then book a class with me, and I'll teach you how to do this one-on-one. Every shape, every trick that I have, it's a process, but you're going to enjoy. Okay, so rouseworld.com /classes. We also have a Patreon family. So right now we got about 100 members on our Patreon page, so that's pretty good. We have about so that's awesome. That's better than none, right? So if you want to join our Patreon family, go to patreon.com /rouseworld, and then if you join one of the tiers, we have exclusive videos there that you can thumb through and look at to find some stuff that'll help you to improve your caricature art. Then the next thing is here we have the tips. So today this is a class, and I'm a teacher, but this is also my full-time employment. So I depend a lot on this to take care of the family, also to do more things as far as the drawing, making up content, all of that stuff, time, effort, energy. So tips are certainly appreciated today, guys. If you feel compelled to do so, you can tip through Cash App, $Rouseworld. But I know you guys have other means of tipping. If you're on YouTube, I think they have super stickers, which you can use that. And then on I think on TikTok, you guys have like different stars. I do have a goal on there, guys. So if you guys want to help me meet my goal, thank you so much. I appreciate that too. All right, so let's go ahead and get back into it. I don't know what head shape I'm going to explore next, but I really got something out of that. I really did this particular one because I still sometimes even I get confused behind the board. It's not because I don't know. It's because sometimes you can let how can I put it? Your want to be accepted by everyone um, override your confidence. You know what I mean? So it always takes me a few drawings to get really into it. But once I'm there, yeah, it's a good thing. All right, so let's go to our next shape. What shape was that? So we tried chiseled faces. What if we go to oh, you know what? One thing before we leave this shape here. This is nope, I can't do hers because it's not going to show the picture. She has a very similar face to what we're doing now too, and it's a female face. Now with females, generally when I draw this shape, right, I don't add these extra lines in like, like, hold up, what the heck? I don't know about that. Hold on. Hold on, guys. All right, there we go. Let me see what we got here. So, like for instance, if we're looking at, I'm trying to find a female with a chisel. She don't have no chisel face. Maybe somebody like, she kind of has one, but it's soft. She has one for sure. Um, but hers is more round at the top. So hers would be like 1, 2, 3, right? And then it'll be like this shape. It'll be an offset V at the bottom, basically. And then you add the back part. And the front of this, women generally don't have really hard ones. If you do it too hard for the women, they're going to look like men. So you don't want to do that. Up here again, we're going to stay with our semicircle, but this time we'll just add the part in her hair like it is here. So this is pretty much what we're going to see. So this is pretty much all we're doing here is adding that. You have that semicircle shape here, and then from the semicircle, once you extend it out more on one side than on the other, right? Then you can bring your hair like this, right? That's one side, and then this one, obviously, because the spacing is different, you're going to need a smaller picture. So then from here, you can see, look, we got all of this space here to put our features. You get what I'm saying? Or if it's easier for you not to do all these crosshair stuff, just find a shape. Like this is a T shape. This is another T shape I like. This one is called, this is my, like, I got an arc here, right, with this shape. So it's an archy, it's like a, I don't even know what the heck that is. That's a 1, 2, 1, 2, and like that. What does that look like? Dude, I'm going to tell you, for some reason, I don't know what I thought about when I saw that, but I just thought, for some reason, the first thing I thought of was I don't know if I can say that on a live stream, so I'm not going to say it. But a bird, okay, yeah, it looks like a bird. It does look like a bird carrying something, like a bird carrying something. But but I want it to be sideways, so when you draw it, it wants to be here and here, but then we want a straight line and then like an upward curve on this part. You know what I'm saying? So then here you have your lips, right? And then you have your eyes, and her eyes are going to be going this way. So a good trick for drawing eyes is to draw the eyes as if they're in a closed position. So what I might do is this right here, like if she's smiling. You know what I'm saying? So that's a closed position of the eye. And then what I'll do is I'll open the eye here and open it here. So when I open the eye, right, then it looks like that. You see? Okay. All right. Now, let me see here. Okay, let me see what next shape we got here. All right. So let's discover some more shapes here. So we got sharp jawline. What about high cheekbones? Okay. So it seems like these two things kind of go together. Generally, it seems to me that the people that have this particular head shape also have high cheekbones. So it'd be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, right? And then 4, 5, right? And what's crazy is you can do this without doing any additions to the outside of the face, usually for the women, right? Unless you want to put this back one and make it like a soft one. But this one, no. You know what I'm saying? And then here we got our, oh yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome. So that would be her head shape here. Okay, let me get another piece of paper here. Okay. Let me see. So this will be, let me see. 1, 2, 3. Right. 4, 5. So we got the offset here because it's offset because it's not perfectly centered. And then you have your neck coming here. And you can just add your ear shape, and then you can come here and you can make this like curtains, right? Remember we said curtains. So your curtains are going to go around this. So we want to use this shape here to tell us where our curtains are going to. You see what I'm saying? So now we got, what do we have? We have our semicircle of some kind up here, coming off of the head way back here. So it's like a plate almost on the head. And then from there, we'll have our little triangle here, right? And then back here, we'll just have a semicircle. It looks like that semicircle comes just like right at the ears. Let me see, is that a semicircle? I guess it would be considered semicircle. And just above the ear shape, right? And then we just kind of round the angles off. That looks great. Ah, right. Now we got this here. So we'll just go, let me see. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Yep. Okay. And then we'll have our T shape here. She has very spaced apart eyes to me. So I might do something like this. Just do a quick T shape here. All right. And she has a, I guess, round nose. So I might round it here. And then, I don't know. Her shape looks like a, you know what it looks like? It looks like a, like this. This is the basic shape of it. Like that. Something like that. Okay. Oh, maybe I ought to put the eyebrows on top and not make that the eyebrow. That might make more sense, actually. Yeah. Sorry, Tom Richmond. Okay. Yeah, you see that? That's easier that way. So let's when we do the eyebrow, the eyes do not. They can go. It could be either or. I guess it depends on if I want to accentuate the expression or eye shape first. Expression or eye shape. Okay. Okay, let's see. Do 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 do. All right. So let's pick out another one. What about this one says high cheekbones. To me, she doesn't have high cheekbones. Or does she? And I'm not seeing. I wonder if I do this, will this work? 1, 2, 3, right? And then our offset is here. And then can we just, instead of making a line from here to here, we just make that 3 because it's only 3 side by side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 4, 5, 6. Ah, yeah. Something like this. Okay. Awesome. Okay, then we got maybe like a little. Something like that. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay, so with this one, I just added, as long as I can account for the 6 sides, it looks like, oh, that's all I have to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, yeah, that'll work. And then this will be this side, and then got your next shape here. Okay, so that was this picture right here. Let me pull up. So it was this shape here I was trying, but I was trying to figure out how to keep the softness of her face. So when I drew this shape, I was like 1, 2, 3, keep my, and then put my my 5 shape here. 1, 2, 3, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 shape here, and then 5, 6. So then it would be 5, 6. You know what I'm saying? And then D or semicircle shape, right? And whatever my T shape is here. So with this one right here, what can I do for T shape here? I could just, I guess, do something like this. Just make it with the eyes, big eyes, right? Maybe her nose is now kind of coming down like this because she's tilting, right? So the nose kind of tilts downward, right? Or is it tilting downward, or is it just kind of straight in? No, it's not straight down. It's just round. So let's just make it round like this, like a bottle nose. And then you can see here you have your eyes, and then you got your glasses here, right? See, your eyes go here. So it's cool that you can do like this. And so many things you can do with this, man. Wow. Oh, okay. And then we got the same shape. One. And here. It's here. Top lip. Okay. There's so many. It's always fun to see what kind of different variations you can come up with for stuff. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's cool right there too. I like it. So, all right, enough bullet shape, right? Which one do we want to do? You guys have any requests? Which one do you want me to go to next? I know we have done the shapes that we looked at. We also looked at these baby pictures. Maybe we can mess around with those because sometimes I have the cupcake ones. The cupcake ones only have 5 sides, so maybe we can look at somebody with a pie face, maybe pie face. Let me see what that says. All right, let me see. Pie faces. People with pie faces. People with pie, P-I-E faces. You got to make sure they understand what you're saying. Okay, so we got, these are apparently pie faces, okay? But that doesn't look like a pie face. What if I look at somebody with a fat, like, no, that's not a pie face. Like this guy. Right? If you look at his face, right? He kind of looks like a pie face. Let me see what shape can I use to do that. Can I use this shape to do that? Let me try it out. This is the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And I guess too, you want to look at how you want to sit the ears, which I never thought about that. That's interesting. How do I want my ears to sit? Look at that. Now, if I just add a little bit, if I add a triangle here or a little triangle here, and I add a Fu Manchu here, right? Wow, okay. Okay. And then we got this shape here, look. This is my T shape. It's no Y, but it's okay. And then look. Wow. So that really worked out. That really worked out. Even though it didn't seem like it would, it did. What I don't know. What other kind of I don't see another. Maybe if I rounded the top off more. I don't know if that'll work. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. But that still wouldn't be the same thing as this. 4, 5, 6. I don't know. Let me see. Let's see which one looks more like it. I don't like it. You know why I don't like it? Because the ears would then have to go on here on that to make it sit right. See how the ears are sitting? They need a flat surface to sit on, right? Otherwise, the ears are going to angle this way, right, toward the head, which is not a representation of what's going on here. So, I don't know. I don't think I can do that. All right, but let me see. I can do like a little face right here, big nose, right? Okay. Fu Manchu. All right. All right. And we come here with our heart shape. Teeth. All right. And you know, with this T shape, we don't even have to make it. We could literally just make it a straight line like this, right? Because that gives it a little bit more of the Chinese look. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Or Asian look anyway. Oh yeah, that's funny. So man, that one looks good too. Which one do you guys think? Do you think this one is better? Or do you think like this one here would be better? What do you guys think? So anyways, I don't see anything. Now, I could also do something like this, where it looks like where everything is just one big like this, and all this is at the bottom of the face, like almost like a popsicle. Now the popsicle will work because the sides of the head are flat, which gives my shape something, my ears something to sit on. You see? Look at that. And then Fu Manchu here. And then you can just put your two little buffers here, right? And then you can just do your eyes and your nose, your mouth, right? Right. And then we can do like this, come down, right? And then we got your teeth here. So all of these, I don't know, this one looks like him, that one, it all looks like him, but it's just in a different variation, which is one of the great things about caricature. So many different ways to approach a face. You just don't, you ultimately just have to decide on one, right? Yeah. So the day is Veterans Day. I gotta go out this morning to see if I can get something. Something. I gotta get something. They said I get some donuts or something, some coffee somewhere. I don't know. I'm about to go try to find something. All right, let's see here. What is this face right here? So that's an interesting thing. Where do my ears sit? So if I look here, my ears are flat toward the head. I need a flat shape. If I'm here, what the flip, man? Are you kidding me? See these ears right here? You see how the angle of the ears are like this, all right? So that tells me I can't use shapes that go up and down. Okay. 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 So this shape would have to be anything that I can do this with. 1, 2, 3. Right? I need something short up here up top. Short. And then anything that goes in an angle. So I want to go put the cheekbones here, come down, go around, go up, back into the cheekbones. And so now you can see that my ears have an angle to rest on, right, outside of the head shape, right? So now I go with my semicircle, right? And then you got your beard shape here, right? And then we got this, right? And then we got a heart shape here, a little heart. Or we can just do like a little fishtail shape here. Okay, there we go. Just like that. Wow, cool. Okay, and then we got, I don't know, something like, we got something like this here. So our T shape is going to be, okay. So I'm looking at the outside of the eyes, T shape, boom, T shape, in, okay, down, and it looks like these are the ears of the shape. That means I need a shape that does, oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, I never saw that before. Holy smokes. So this thing with the ears apparently translates to the nose too. Wow. So wait a minute, because we're gonna be doing our word of the day today. So I want to do this. We're gonna put this again, but now we're gonna, because I'll organize these notes later on and put them in my little book here. But so again, question 1, ear angle determines head shape. also. And then the 2, also. Wing, angle. And we'll just abbreviate nose shape. Holy smokes. Is that right? Okay. Interesting. So now we got the same shape here. In order for me to make these eyebrows, I gotta do something like this. There's no other way I can do it. Wow. And then you just like that. Oh man. And then look, if I want to add some more, right? Then if I want to add those things, remember like on the outside, remember here earlier, you see how he has these 2 little shapes here on the side? So he has these 2, right? Because he has that kind of an angle. I can add little small ones here to bring out the chin. Oh, somebody, wait a minute. Okay. It's like that. Okay, yeah. All right, that's something else right there. I'm getting carried away right now. It's always fun to learn something. Let's go get in her face. What kind of face is that? Well, it's a very pissed off face for one thing. Let me see. Hold on, guys. All right, let me see. So let's go down here and let's look at our head shape. Oh man, so we already know. Oh man, dude, this is epic discovery right here. Epic discoveries. This is epic. Like this is the simplest This is the simplest epic study. Okay, I don't have to guess about this head shape. Look at that. I got to do this because our ear shape is angling. I got to do this. Don't have an option. And then I come back here again. Boom. All right. Come back here. Around it, right? And then over here, come to the bottom, side, next shape here. And then if you want to add a little bit of curve right here, you can. So here we have look at this shape here. This is her brow shape here. Her eye shape is this here. All right. Her nose shape. Which way are those wings sitting? Which way are the wings approaching? So the wings are approaching at an inner angle right here. So that means that the 2 wings of this shape are triangles, which means I'm going to do 2 triangles, a triangle that's outside of a triangle, the inside of my triangle going here, and then I just go out like that. And you can see, oh my goodness. And then you have boom, and then you have she has pretty much a semicircle heart mouth shape. Right? So here you can see, look, it's her eyes here. And the part that goes to the middle. And then these are her eyebrow shapes here. Right? Oh wow, that's crazy. So this is more like that shape here. Heart, eyes. I don't know what this is called. That shape is this shape here. Okay. All right, cool. Hey, what's going on, Omar? Thank you, Omar. I appreciate you subscribing today, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just a regular old dude that likes to draw, man. I like to draw and I like to teach drawing. Matter of fact, I forgot to tell you guys about that. Again, here I like it. So if you guys want to take classes, I do offer one-on-one live classes on Zoom. So you can go to Learn to Draw Caricatures. You can book a class at our website, browserworld.com/classes, and then we will, have a one-on-one. I'll show you some of the tricks of the trade. And then, we actually even might make some discoveries while we're in class that not even I knew until I was practicing it, because that's just how life is. Today I was reading something that says sometimes we get so caught up in the final product that we forget we forget about the process. You know what I mean? And when you think about the end all the time while you're going through the situation, if you have an end already in mind, you miss out on blessings, you miss out on things you would have seen because you won't be in the moment. You keep thinking about what there is to come. You know what I'm saying? So we talk about all types of things like this in the class. So you guys check out our class 101, browserworld.com/classes. We do also have a Patreon family. Right now we have about 100 members on Patreon. Some of them are paid tier members, some obviously free members, but all of them nevertheless are members, and we're grateful for. If you would like to be a part of our Patreon family, we do have openings available, right? We'd like to have you. And on there, we have some exclusive videos that talk about the very same thing that I'm doing right now. Just some videos that are just specifically for those that have chosen to support us in that way. So this is just a little something that we wanted to do to give back to our fans and to give our fans an opportunity to be able to support us as well in the art classes and things of that nature. Okay, now, other than that, we also have tips, guys. If you feel like, hey, man, you've been watching for a minute and you feel like you're benefiting from the information that I'm sharing with you, and you'd like to just say, hey, man, here's a cup of coffee. I am a veteran. Yep. So if you want to give me a Veterans Day, what's up, right? Tips are appreciated, man. Thank you so much. Cash App, $ Browser World. Okay, so let's go ahead and get back into our lesson. After we finish the lesson, by the way, guys, we will be going into our word of the day, and that's going to be something I can't wait to get into. It's going to be super exciting. Let me see here. What you got here? It says, Omar, I still find drawing portraits is difficult. Am I right? Omar, drawing portraits is not really difficult. I think the first thing is that, again, first thing it comes with the right teacher, okay? Because sometimes if you don't get the right teacher, a good teacher is able to make you see the process in your head. So if you haven't run across somebody that can help you see a mental picture of it, well, that may be the problem. It might not be you. It just might be the teacher, right? And then being able to be relatable to your life to teach you how to do something like that. So portraits, for all intents and purposes, are just the same thing as caricature to me, except you have exaggerations in caricature, and then you have things that are not exaggerated in a portrait, right? Some people's regular portrait face looks like a caricature. So it's, it's either here or there, but I can help you out with that. If you want to take a class, you want to learn, I doubt. In fact, I started drawing portraits. That was my first experiences with drawing faces and stuff were all portraits. I didn't get into caricature until many, many years later. And but this actually improved my caricature game because it helped me to look for things that I would have never normally see. You know what I mean? Like for instance, oh, you live in Egypt. Holy smoke, Omar. I didn't know you live in Egypt. That's crazy. But anyway, we got somebody from Egypt in the house. I've had some people from like Australia and different things take classes with me, but not from Egypt. Wow, that's crazy. I have never been to Egypt before. What's it like over there? Like, what is it like to live in Egypt? Over here we hear so many things about like the United States, but I've never been outside of the United States to visit places, Egypt or Africa, places like that. People have been. So I understand that what I know about like life is very limited to where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? About customs and things of this nature. Look at this picture here. So now as I'm looking at this head, now I'm understanding. If you look at this ear shape, the base of the ear is basically straight up and down. with a little bit of a angle on it, right? A little bit, but it's mostly straight up and down. So when I'm drawing my T shape, right, this would be his eyebrow shape to me, that one end to the other. And then the nose shape, let's see how that approaches. So if we look at the angle, we're looking at something that kind of, the shape of the nose itself is a, let me think. It's a Superman sign. It's this shape here. And then from that Superman shape, I can see the break in the nose and the curve. And I can see this part going down. I can see this mustache shape that does like this. This is the shape of the mustache all the way around. This is the bottom lip, and this is a heart-shaped lip on the top, right? And then he has like this little chin that just comes out from underneath there, right? So basically his eyebrows are coming off of here like this. This is like the edges and corners of his eyebrow. So I look, oh wow, crazy. So this is kind of what the whole idea of the whole shape is. So I think in terms of both shapes, not one shape. I don't draw eyes like this. All right. I think of, if I'm at the end of this eye and the end of this eye, in order for me, let's imagine, right? Look. Here we go with my imagination, right? Let's imagine this is one guy, and then this is another guy, right? We're just drawing some stick figures, right? So we got two guys here, right? And then this is a ping pong table with a net like this, right? So in order for us to hit that ball, when we hit the ball needs to travel like this to get to the other side. It needs to travel in an arcing motion. You look at these eyes here, the same concept applies. In order for me to get from here to here, I must create an arc to go from here to here, right? So once I create that arc, then I can see eyebrow, I can see eye shapes. You see? I can see brow shapes, because in order for me to get from here to here, look at the angle here and the angle here. It's straight, it's kind of a like this. So it looks exactly like this shape here. So what's here on the top of this arc, right, is a shape that does like this. Right? So off the edge of it, you can see his eyebrow shape going here. This is like the actual ping pong table is the bottom of the eye. Look. And you see when it comes down, it forms this little piece that comes off the side of his eye like that. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a ping pong table. Right? I don't know. Did y'all get that? Did y'all catch that? Okay, wait a minute. I think I got one out of. Somebody gave me a. Did I get one of them? I think I got one gift. Thank you so much. Who gave that to me? I didn't even get to say thank you to you. Let me go back here. Somebody just gifted me. Oh, Willie Cervantes said gold boxing glove. Hey, thank you so much, Willie. I appreciate you. I didn't see that you gave me a gold boxing glove. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Man, thank you so much, man. How about that, man? Everybody give it up for Willie. Big Willie in the house. Okay. Oh, wait, let me take this out of the way. I don't even know why I got this up this time. Okay. Does that make sense? Did everybody catch that right there? Okay, let's see. No, cancel. No, I don't. Yeah. All right, let's find some more faces here. I'm having fun. All right, let's look at this head shape. What is it that how can I draw it? Oh, I didn't even finish drawing this guy, but I didn't save this picture now, so that's because I remember if I'm sure. All right, now what about this shape here? So I'm looking at my ear shape. I see something that has a slope in it. So in order for me to draw this shape, I'm going to need something. I'm going to need a cupcake. I'm going to need a thin, almost a medium to thick, like wide cupcake to put my ear shapes in, and I need the cupcake to be at the bottom, the cake part to be at the bottom, the little paper part at the top. So I'm looking at like something like this. 1, 2, 3, right? And then when I get down here, I want to go in a little bit, 4, 5, and 6, right? Because so you can see here, this is his little thing right here, right? And then look, then you got this, one, right, right, and then you got this heart shape right in the middle, right there, right? You see? So that is the shape right there of his mouth. Okay. Hey, what's going on, Elon X? Thank you, Elon. I appreciate you, man. Thank you. I got some kind of man. Oh, right. Follow the live creator. Wow, right on. Thank you, Chemo and Elon. I want, some days I need to have somebody on here as a guest. That would be cool. Like to do something together with somebody. I need some friends, man. All right, now look. Once we got it, look at our head. Look, now our ear shape is going in like this. Wow. Again, how that ear shape is, and then look at. Oh goodness! Now you just put this, and then you go with you're gonna go with a. Oh, wait a minute, my bad. We're supposed to be going with a semicircle here. So semicircle, right? And then once you put the semicircle, then you start doing your hair like this, right? The big mistake is to try to do that and do it with the hairlines first, because then you get them all wrong. You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right. So over here, right? Then we just come back and we got a triangle, and then we got another. What is that? Is that a semi? It could be like a little. I could do it like that. This is not a triangle on this one. This is more of a like a. What's the word I'm looking for? Like semicircle-ish, like a circle-ish thing, and then it has the sideburns. You see? Look at that. That's his head shape. And then look, when we get to this middle part, then we'll say. We come over here and we'll say, okay, this is our nose shape. What kind of nose shape do I have here? Okay, so I'm going to be using, in order for me to draw this shape here, I'm going to have to use a bottle kind of a nose, kind of like this. That's the only way I could do this shape is with a bottle nose. And then if I want to add, then I'll put like a triangle out here that goes to the bottom of the nose, right? So that'll give me a good accurate nose shape. And then here you can see that the eyebrows are kind of close together. So what we want to do here is we want to put our shape here, 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 and here. This is the beginning. This is the arc that we talked about from our pool table over here. Remember we talked about, our ping pong table. How you have to form an arc and think of overall shapes. So I have that arc here, and then over here I have the same arc. So if you look here from one side of the eye to the other, right? What's crazy about this one is that it almost seems to go up, right? And then over here it seems to go like it kind of looks like the shape goes down as it goes across the nose, and then it bounces over here to the other end of the shape. So now I have a total shape for my eye. You get what I'm saying here? So I have a total shape, right? And then you have your, all right? You get it? So here, with your features, think total angle shape. Okay, that looks good right there. Okay, I learned a lot so far. This is what you won't be able to see this in here, obviously. But once you erase the middle of it, right, then you can see how everything breaks up. Just like so. Okay. All right. And I think this is going to be my last one. So I'm going to pick one more unless somebody has a request. Trump was here a month ago and I saw Air Force One fly over my head doing my work. Oh, brother, that's crazy. All right, let me see. Gosh, everything makes so much sense now. Let's see that. Right, I'm gonna stick to the basic caricature. This guy has a bald head. So what about this one? This one he looks more fun. Okay, now with this shape, what I see here is that his ears literally angle inside. So in order for me to draw this shape, right, this is the shape I'm gonna need. God, it becomes so apparent to you once you see it. It's like this. This is the shape, and then this is the ear shape. See how this ear angles in, like from the head? The base of the ear angles inward. You see what I'm saying? So here, you see? Okay? Just like that. Wow. Then we got our mouth shape here, so we got something that does like that. Ah, you know what? That's his mouth shape. So that looks like that. If you see that mouth shape, it's just, you know what I'm saying, like a closed mouth with some lips on top of it. It's like that. And then now, what is this shape here? This is going to be I would make this a very strong J shape. Maybe what should I think? A bowling pin, maybe. Not because he doesn't have a hard, but this is also because you can't see the angle here. But as I'm looking here, I'm seeing a teardrop shaped nose. So what I would want is something like this. It's just going to be like a teardrop. And then from the teardrop, what I'm seeing how it leaves the let me see. You know, it could be teardrop, and then from teardrop, I'm seeing that the angle of the nose is curved, is this way. So this might be actually the wrong shape. Even though I could get away with that, I think a more accurate shape would be something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then this part would leave from here 1 and 2. You see? And 2 and 1. And then this part goes up to the bridge of the nose. And then here is where our glasses would be. So what we want to do, again, just like the glasses, just like every other feature, I don't draw one lens at a time. I look over here and say, okay, this might be the side of one lens. This might be the side of the lens over here. And then now I just need to get to the other lens. So here, right, I just do like this and come across, and then I do like this and go up. And that give me, and then this one goes up and over, and this one goes up and over, right? And then we look at our brow shapes. You're looking at something that's doing like this. This is the shape of the brow. One, two. So this is like if I were drawing a whole shape here, this is where it would be. But his brows are literally only accounting for maybe about that much of the drawing. Okay. Eye shapes, same thing. So we're going to go from here. We're going to create an arc, right, from one side, and then we're going to land over here somewhere, and then we'll just put our eyes in there. Right? And see how I got the whole arc in there. And then we'll just do something like this. Let's look at the angle. Let's look at an angle that we can use here. Okay, hold on. Okay, so I'm looking at this shape here. But that looks so like, can I just do this? Yes, yes, I can. Okay, I didn't think, sometimes it's just not that easy, right? So here we go, right? And then back here, right, you got a piece that comes off and goes back here to almost into the top of the ear shape. So what you want to do is extend out and then come down and add a little bit more to the back of the head. And pretty much we got our drawing down to a science, right? So we'll just color these in. And then after this one, guys, we're going to go ahead and we'll get into our word of the day. Okay. I got one boxing glove today. I'm grateful for that. Thank you so much, guys, again, coming out to the stream. I'm going to be streaming again more regularly on, especially as it gets toward the winter months, right? We're going to be staying home a lot more. You might go visit somebody, but you ain't going to leave that phone at home, right? Oh, really? You like it? Okay, cool, man. Yeah. So I really, really, really learned a lot today. I don't know about you guys. I feel like I had a breakthrough even in my own drawing today. Every time I go back and I practice something very basic, it always works out for me. So this is like I just want to put these shapes in here. These are some new discoveries I made today. Closed mouth shapes. We learned that features think when you draw features, right? You want to think of the total shape. So when in other words, when you draw your face, no matter what face you're drawing, we can just pick anybody. Let's say we're drawing this guy. Okay, and we're drawing look at his feature. So when I'm drawing this eyebrow shape, right? I'm drawing eyebrow shape that does like this. This is the whole shape. Okay, because this is where those little things come from. So you're thinking of it as a whole shape, not one shape, right? Then we come back here to the nose shape and we say, okay, now I can see that heart-shaped nose in there. So this is a pretty heart-shaped nose, right? And then inside and underneath it right here, you'll see that it has like a very little small triangle coming out of it right here on the side. And one that's bigger here. And then you have like a bend here. And then you have your glasses. All right, now let's go with our eye shapes. Watch. Now, if you look at his eye shape, I got to go from here to here. And then over here, I got to go up and then down. So I got to get to the other end of the shape and then come down here. Right? So if that's true, now all I have to do is just draw the base of my shape. which is like this, right? And then you have this shape here, right? Which is you got the underside of this shape, and then you got this shape here, right? You see what I'm saying? So you get a much cleaner feel, and again, so many things you can do, right? Here, right? When you know how to really see those angles. This is you know what I'm looking for here? I'm looking for this, and then that. And then that goes into, let's look at his ear angle here. What are we seeing here? We're seeing something that's kind of really straight up and down. So my shape, this is telling me based off of this that when I draw my beard shape, I want to draw something that has straight up and down sides. At the bottom, I might make it a very wide shape. But when I get to the sides, I want something that's going to go straight up and down, right? Until I get to the top of my shape, right? And then once I have my space for my ears to rest, this is not straight up and down enough, actually. It needs to be out here. You see how this is, I don't have enough room here, but it's straight up and down. Everything is, then this is like an angle and this is an angle, but the hair itself is straight up and down because the ears are straight up and down. So his ears are here. Now, once I get past the ear shape, then what I want to do is I want to foreshorten or shorten up the head, the top of the head shape, and then I start playing with those little ping pong pieces on the side of the head. You get what I'm saying? Like that. Okay? Oh, your biggest problem is breaking down the basic shape. Yeah, that's something that's and I understand that. It's something that does require time and patience to learn. But what I like to do, I'm gonna as a good rule of thumb. Excuse me. Let me see, Ron, what's going on? Got here late, but got to see last guy. Thank you. Hey, what's going on, Ron? Ron is here. Ron is one of my students in my caricature class. So thank you so much again, Ron, for taking class with me too. I certainly appreciate you and your wife. It's always a pleasure to see you guys. Let's see her go upside your head in a class. It's awesome, Ron. I'm just messing with you. Okay, but my response. Let me go back that. Okay. Yes, it is. Let me see. So about wait, where was I? I'm trying to see that last cut. Oh, okay. Somebody said shuffle. The biggest problem is breaking down basic shapes. Okay, that's because what you got to do is you got to practice how things go together, right? So let's put it like this. If you got a shape like this, right? Okay, what you want to do is you want to learn what shape, if I'm trying to keep this balanced, let's say I'm trying to keep it balanced, trying to stack something up. Let's stack some things up. If I'm adding ears to this shape, but I want to keep it balanced, I got to do like this to balance it, right? These shapes must balance, right? And then whatever shape here I have must balance, right? So you're learning how to put shapes together just like you would at just when you're playing with a little game or something like that. You want to say, all right, and make things fit together. And so the head shape is always going to be the shape you want to work with first. I always recommend that as a beginner, especially if you don't have any experience really drawing caricatures. You want to you want to start by using that head shape first, and then from that head shape, you discover and explore the rest of the caricature. Well, that looks just like that guy. No matter what picture I go to, that's the same guy I just drew. That's him. That's funny. An exaggeration, of course, but let me see. Man, look at that guy. Okay. Who else do we have? I'm just trying to find. I know I'm supposed to be getting into the word of the day already. I just got no sidetrack with this. I'm in learning mode right now. Well, let's see. Right. Y'all excuse my kids, man. My son's losing his mind. And he does every day. Hey, what's going on, Ribeiro Art? How are you today, man? Okay. All right, so no, this is my absolute last one. I'm serious. Dead word of the day after this, guys. Okay. So as we're looking at this shape, I can see that her ears, the little bit of her ear that I see, I can tell that it's going straight up and down in relation to the shape that I'm drawing, which tells me that I'm going to be drawing a stop sign. Watch. I'm just going to draw it real robotic first, but watch this. Watch. I just drew her as a stop sign. Now let's put a big semicircle shape and make the semicircle come into the stop sign. Okay, put a little flower here, flower here. Okay, and then from that we put our neck, right? Shoulders. Right? Okay, and the rest of her head. You see, and now I did this with angles just to show you what I'm talking about. You have to understand the real basic shape here. Okay. Hey, right on. No problem, no problem. You didn't distract me at all. Okay, now watch this. Once I'm in here, this is the major shape of the head. You get what I'm saying? Only thing a caricature does is we soften shapes to make them look like features. You see? So all the caricature artist is doing. So you can't really see the angles, right? So this is her chin, right? Now watch. Let's go ahead and look at so first off, she's very happy, okay? So she's happy, right? I'm gonna put my eyebrows up here. This is where her eyes begin. This is where they end. So this is her eyebrow shape, right? This is going to be her nose shape. So if you look at her nose shape, what this shape tells me is that what I'm drawing here is I think I'm going to be drawing a Superman sign again. So I'm going to be drawing something like this, but very flat and longer at the bottom, right? And rounded, but something like this. And then you'll see that the nostrils come off of this shape just at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? So this would be the bottom of her nose. And then from here, we're going into our shape. So let's look at her mouth shape. So what mouth shape do we see here? Well, only thing, when I see this shape, well, you know what I'm thinking? Let me think. Am I right when I do this? Let me see. What if I do the same concept as this? Oh, dear. Okay. Yes. Yeah. That's funny. You know what I just learned? Remember when we did this mouth right here? Let me show you. Let me back up. Where's that? This one. See how we did this mouth? Where I just did like this, and then I did like this, right? So that's like a little closed mouth, right? Well, this mouth is the same concept, right? This is the top lip, right? That top line. So it's got like a circle right here. And then I do the same thing. I wrap around and I come to the bottom and do like this. So now this one has the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And then you have your teeth in here. So it's really the same concept as this, but just that I added an opening to the mouth before I added the end shapes. And so, and crazy enough, when you do it this way, this line right here becomes more consistent to feed back into our Superman nose shape right here. So it's a lot more consistent. Yeah, for sure. Okay. So again, guys, I'm in learning mode. I hope you guys are learning a little something today. So, just question out of curiosity, guys, and for those that want to engage, what would you say today, since you've been here? What would you say is the uh, what do you feel about the general vibe of the stream? I'm trying to just do things to improve. So the general vibe of the stream. Also, what would you feel is the greatest, like, what would you feel is the best part of the lesson today? Like the thing that you feel like you learned the most about. You know what I'm saying? I guess I said that right. Like you draw and you draw caricatures. What would you say is that aha moment that you had today? Did you have an aha moment today? That's cool. And maybe I don't even have to use. Let me finish this picture up. Maybe I don't even have to use a chin shape. Maybe I can just, so now that I understand what I'm doing, I can do it a little bit better this time. Dude, okay. Okay. That made it easier. Okay. So check it out. Instead of when I curve it and I curve it, right? Instead of doing this like line around the side and making that an awkward line, what you do is the curves, you just join them back together, right? And then you put the teeth in. I think it's much smoother when it does it that way because now you have your lips here and here. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a little bit clearer how to do that. Okay. All right, guys. So that is our last drawing of the day. I want to thank y'all for coming out. I'm going to go ahead, guys, and we're going to do a quick word of the day. And this is something to help us to leave the stream encouraged. We all go through things. And, you know, I go through things. I don't know about y'all. Maybe you guys don't go through anything, right? But it just seems like every day I'm going through something. Something, a different thing I need to address about myself. I'm not big to point fingers at other people. I'm always looking at self-development because the world's not going to change to accommodate who you think you are, right? You know what I'm saying? Let me see here. Wait, let me read these comments here. All right. I'm trying to see what the fuck. How do I say that name? GNA. No, I'm just gonna call you G. But thank you for coming out. I appreciate you coming out. And you said my aha is that I overcomplicate things. I normally have a comic style of art that I do. Overcomplicate. Yep. Hey man, well look, I'm gonna raise my hand this way. I can't raise them the other way. I'll just raise it like this. Because one thing caricature has taught me is that nothing is as complicated as it seems. It's very easy. It's just that when we get into certain things in our life, or certain positions mentally in our life, we start thinking kind of what I was telling you about. We think about we're so caught up on destinations that we never like live in moments, and so those conflicting thoughts in our head make us overdo the process instead of allowing each day to be each day and discovery for that day, right? We're always thinking my goal is to become a billionaire by the time I'm 20. You know what I mean? And then you fall into the trap of that, and you can't truly create, not understanding that the more that you develop yourself, you'll find that the less things you need, first of all. Like now, I don't know. I just don't. I don't know. I don't really like desire to have a lot of stuff. I mean, I have my kids, and I'm raising kids. I'm 53. I'll be 53 in January. So I have a 1-year-old, a 2-year-old. He just turned 2. We just had that party, by the way. Thanks, guys, for anybody that contributed to that, by the way. And so I'm content with that. I'm content with that. A lot of things have changed about me. Like I remember marriage used to get like a really bad idea, especially with guys, right? But I'm like, at the end of the day, what it showed me was that being married and being a father is like one of the most benevolent acts that you could ever do for somebody. You know what I mean? For me to take, you know, another person and say, look, because this is how me and my wife do it. I told her, look, all right, I ain't got much, but what I got, I'll share with you. You share with me. I'm going to take care of you. You just raise the kids. I'm going to love you and take care of you. You raise my kids. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be the mother of my kids. That's it. And then what she, you know, and everything else is, and then she helps me where she can help me. We help each other. Not saying, you know what I mean, but we just help each other through the process. And it's just very, but you know, a very benevolent thing to do. It's super awesome. So many things have changed. And let's go ahead and get into our word of today. Now I feel like I'm changing zones anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and change up I got some, I'm going to put on a little bit of some thought provoking music here. Let's go ahead and play that right quick. Okay. And so we're going to go ahead, guys, and we're going to get rid of a lot of this stuff here that we don't need. So that's going to be most of these papers here. I'm going to go into this word of the daytime. This is where I share my devotional time with you. Okay. I was reading something today. I was in the book of Matthew. I'm going to go ahead and go to my home screen here. Let me see. Okay. And then we're going to go to the book of Matthew. You guys have never looked at the Bible before. I was in chapter 11, actually. I listened to this several times while I was in the gym working out today. It was very thought-provoking. So let me see here. Just dismiss some clothes. Hold on, I'm trying to find the salmon. Okay. Okay, here we go. Hold on a second, guys. Let me turn down. All right, hold on. Let me find where I was at. Okay. Ears to hear. Here we go. Here we go. This is it. Okay. Fulfills the prophecy. Represents those. Here goes a parable. Jesus always used stories. In fact, he never used parables. I will speak to you in parables. Okay. I'm trying to find out, why should we pull out the weeds? The enemy has done this. Should we pull out the weeds? No. Okay, wait. I'm trying to find where I was. The smallest of the seeds becomes the largest. The seed that fell amongst the thorns. Okay. All right, here we go. I think we have heard. Here we are. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the parable of the farmer scattering seeds, okay? I think, the more that I study scripture like I study art, you know? And one of the things that I'm starting to see about scripture and God and Jesus and this whole idea of growing mentally, I learned one thing, and I learned this. So I'm going to put this down here. Everything is connected. Okay? Everything is connected. We're going to go to chapter 13. We're going to read those. I'm going to try to get through it as quickly as possible. But I feel like this is real important for someone today. First off, let me tell you what he said, the parable. What is a parable? In the scripture, Jesus was asked by his disciples. He said, "Teacher," he says, "why do you speak to us, or why do you speak in parables?" Right? And to everybody, why do you tell this story? He said, because, and this is what he said back to him. He said, because the secrets of the kingdom, right, of the Holy Spirit, the secrets of God's kingdom have been given to you, right, but not to them. Okay, this is what he said to the people. He's talking to his disciples, and he's saying that the people in the world are outside of you. You have been given the secrets to true joy and true life and all this stuff, but these people do not understand this. So what I do is when I have to explain this to somebody that has no idea what I'm talking about, I have to present the information in a way that's relatable to them in order for them to understand. Does that make sense? So therefore, I give you a story or a parable or a situation where I show you that everything is connected. Prime example, today we were drawing pictures. And I said, if I said, well, how do you draw a head shape? I say, well, there are different head shapes, right? And I said, well, depending on the angle of your ears is the angle of the shape that you pick. So remember, we said if somebody has ears that angle outward, well, quite naturally, I need a shape that one of the flat sides on the side of this shape angle out in order for me to draw outward ears. So therefore, I must use a shape that does that. Does that make sense? So the parable then is, everybody knows about basic shapes. Everybody knows what a hexagon is. Everybody knows if you're a mechanic, I might say, hey, you know what? This is the top of a bolt, right? And this bolt right here, you ever seen one of these bolts? You got to screw them into a car, right? Well, this is the same thing I'm telling you here, but it's all connected. This made the information a parable or relatable to the person that I was telling it to. That's what the Bible is. The Bible is a bunch of stories so that you don't have to literally experience something in order to be delivered from that thing, or for somebody to help you. So people say, well, how can you deliver me, help me get off of drugs if you've never been addicted to drugs? Well, I've been addicted to something. And all addictions are the same. All addictions happen for the same reason. You get what I'm saying? All addictions are the same, no matter what. So if I can if I can share with you a testimony of how I overcame an addiction, maybe I'm an alcoholic and maybe you use heroin. You get what I'm saying? Maybe I'm promiscuous, you know what I'm saying? But you are addicted to cleaning everything. Everything is dirty to you all the time. That's an addiction. You get what I'm saying? So how we approach them, or how can I get you to see what I'm talking about, is I want to use a situation that you can relate to tell you a greater story. Okay? So that's what we're about to do today. In chapter 13, it says the parable of the farmer scattering seed. Scattering seed. Now, seed, guys, is information. Seed is information. Let's put that here. Seed, write that down. Seed is information, right? It's the core of something. It's it's if you think of a seed of a plant, right? Inside of that seed is the plant that is to grow. You understand? So when we scatter seeds, we're thinking of scattering something that's going to grow later on if we nurture it and care for it. Okay? So this is a parable or a story that you can relate to about the farmer scattering seed, in this case being information. Okay, you being the farmer, and you're going out and you're giving information to somebody. And you can do this at work. If you're a teacher, you do this to your students, right? If you're a CEO, you do this to your workers. You get what I'm saying? You scatter seeds. Okay? So later that day, it says, Jesus left the house and sat beside the lake. A large crowd soon gathered around him, so he got into a boat. So I want you to think about that for a minute, right? So there's this large crowd of people over here. All right, I'm just going to draw some little stick figures. And so all these people started to gather up, and here goes Jesus over here. This is the land over here, and Jesus is out here on this boat, right? And he is talking to the people over here on land, because there's so many of them, right, that I can't draw all of them, but it's a lot of people on land, right? He's ministering to. He's scattering seeds is what he's doing. Okay, he's giving them some game, some knowledge, how to live life, right? How to receive that joy. He said, then he sat there and taught as people stood on the shore, these people here. He told many stories, right, in the form of parables, which we already explained that, such as this one. He says, listen. A farmer went out to plant some seeds. As he scattered them across his field, some seeds fell on a footpath, and the birds came and ate them. Other seeds fell on shallow soil, okay, with underlying rock. The seeds sprouted quickly, but because the soil was shallow, it says, but the plants soon wilted under the hot sun. So these are three different scenarios of what happens to seed. When you throw it out, it's now talking to us about the types of people that there are in the world. That's what this is talking about. The first one was the seeds fell on the footpath, and the birds came and ate them. They didn't go into the ground. They didn't even listen at all to what you were saying. Hard-headed, didn't listen. The second one said they fell on shallow soil with underlying rock, but because they sprouted quickly, they didn't have a root. It says, but the plants soon wilted under the hot sun. Since they didn't have roots, they died. Okay? Then it says the other seeds fell among thorns that grew up and choked out the tender plants. Okay? So the third seed represents the person that's easily swayed by his friends. I'm making parables for you. I'm relating to you. You're easily manipulated by his things. You can't keep a straight path. A person that wants to get their body in shape, right, but you quickly get off track as soon as you see a donut. Okay? Then it says, still other seeds fell on fertile soil. And it says, and they produced a crop that was 30, 60, and even 100 times as much as had been planted. That's the person that takes the knowledge, what I just showed you. I said, you want to get better at caricature? Practice basic shapes first. Draw them until you get sick of them, and then learn how to put them together and make formations with them. I guarantee you, if you learn that, you'll learn caricature, right? The other three people that I described would look at this and say, this is a stupid exercise. I'm more advanced than this. This is not going to help me, right? Or whatever situation. Some won't listen to me at all about what I want to say, what I explain to them, because they know everything already. Those are the type of people. But then you have the one person that says, you know what? I'm just going to try it just because. And then they are able to produce a crop that is 30, 60, or even 100 times as much as has been planted. So the person that came to you and told you that you're not a failure, that your life matters, and that you have a purpose, right? He scattered that seed on you, right? And then you were fertile at that time. So you were looking and you truly had enough of the situation that you're in. So you're super fertile. You're ready to listen. And usually people don't get fertile until they're in deep mess that they can't get themselves out of. and then you listen, and then the crop that comes from that small seed is 30 to 60, maybe 100 times more than they had planted. It says here in verse 9, anyone, listen guys, anyone with ears to hear, anyone with ears to hear should listen and understand. And then he says, his disciples came and asked him, and this is where we talked about it, why do you use parables when you talk to people? Why do you keep using these stories of farmers and mustard seeds and wheats and all these different things? Let me tell you a story of this, right? And this is what he said. He replied, okay, you are permitted, he's to understand the secrets of the kingdom of heaven, but others are not. In other words, listen, the teacher has a perspective that's been a God-given perspective of that story, but it's too complicated. Let me give you a better example. I got a good example for you. Because we're going to keep this. Oh, don't fall. Okay, we're going to keep it 100. This book right here is written by Tom Richmond. Great caricature book. You know the number one complaint I get about this book, though, every time somebody uses it? It's too complicated. An artist that has the vision already can understand everything he's saying. A person that's never drawn a caricature before has no idea what this book is talking about. Even if they read it from front to back, they might get a few things, but some things are just not going to, it's not for somebody that doesn't understand how to draw yet. You understand? So you are permitted, right, as a teacher, to understand the secrets of the kingdom of God. But others don't. They are not. There are people that don't understand this. And it says, to those who listen to my teaching, more understanding will be given, and they will have an abundance of knowledge. Okay? But for those who are listening, they're listening to what I'm saying, even with what little understanding they have will be taken away from them. Okay? Those who are not listening. So the ones that listen, right, they will be given an abundance of knowledge. And it says, but for those who are not listening, the ones that turn their ears to the knowledge, even what little understanding. In other words, I tell you, don't go get this book. Get something a little bit more that you can understand. It doesn't have as much technical terms and things because you're not on that level yet. Let me break this down for you so you can digest it. The one that listens to that, okay, is going to reap a crop, a harvest, way bigger because they listened. But the one that did not listen is the one that says, you know what, I'm going to draw caricatures, but screw that guy. I'm going to go right for the most difficult book I can find. And I'm going to find it, and I'm going to read it, and I'm going to be better than everybody. And now he goes out there, and then he figures out why he's going through this, and he can't understand nothing that's in this book. And guess what? He gets discouraged, right? And then what little understanding he had goes away. It's taken as well. He finds out that he really doesn't know anything at all, right? This is why Jesus explained in the Bible that he uses parables. He uses these parables, guys, because at the beginning of this thing, what did we say this is all about? We said that this is, excuse me, let me get my paper that's over here. This is, no, close it. Hold up. Evan, no. Come on, son. Go, Will. Go with mom. Okay, sorry, guys. My son is walking. All right. So remember, we talked about everything. This is what our word of this day is. Listen, everything is connected. So I can tell you a story about something that happened in a different situation, but the same principle applies. Simple as that. This is why Jesus said he uses parables. For they look, but they don't really see. Right? How many times have I gotten a student? I'm a teacher, so how many students have I had that looked at what I did, but they couldn't understand nothing? And I have to ask them, does that make sense to you? Did you see what I'm talking about? No, I don't. And then as a teacher, I have to think, okay, what parable can I use? What situation can I conjure in my mind that's similar to this that I know he'll understand? I think what's happening here is because I need to break it down a little bit further, and a good teacher will keep doing that until he finds the one that's going to reach you. Okay? For they look, but they don't really see. They hear, but they don't really understand. They're caught up in the way that they see the world, and they can't see. So this fulfills the prophecy of Isaiah that says, when you hear what I say, you will not understand. You'll go to church, you can go there for 30 years, and you still don't understand nothing that the pastor said. You still basically understand that you think that God is a floating genie in the air that you can just rub and get anything from. First of all, when everything is connected, so God is not in the air, God is not in the ground, God is every single last place. He's omnipresent. That word only means one thing. That means something that can be in every place at once. That means he is every cell in your body. He is every cell in everybody else's body. He is everything. He is all things. Right? But somebody that hears that, they can hear it, but if their heart's hard, they can't understand. They're under the delusion that Christians think that we have a guy in the sky floating around, going out, passing out blessings to people. No. It's how many times in the word has it uses the word body? We are a body. We are a body. We are a body. And the body can't say to the foot, I don't need you. And the foot can't say to the hand, I don't need you. Because God don't think in terms of individuals. He thinks in terms of bodies. Because he is a omnipresent God. That means that we are in his DNA. We are part of him. Like, let me give you an example. How about this? This is a parable for you. Let's just say this is all it says. Let's just say this is a picture of God. We may very well be everything that we know and experience in this life may just be the hem of a garment. Everything that we know is this big. Smaller than that. Right? Nothing gives you a sense of that more than going up in an airplane. But let's finish up. When you see what I do, you will not comprehend. So even if God came down here today, it says in scripture that those that ask for signs from heaven for God to show themselves, it shows right there that they're on the wrong path because they're looking for a person, right, to stand before them and say, I am he, right? And then he's looking for the person to do a miracle, right, just for him. And I'm going to tell you what the person that doesn't want to believe, even if that did happen, you know what he would say? He would say that was an illusion. This never happened. What was I smoking? Right? They're not going to, no matter what, they're not going to believe. Does that make sense? For the hearts of these people are hardened. Everything's connected, guys. Their ears cannot hear. And they have closed their eyes so their eyes cannot see. And their ears cannot hear. And their hearts cannot understand. You're so hurt, so bitter, so angry. You're so depressed. You're so sad. You're so lonely. You've given up. Nothing seems to have any joy in your life and everything. This is what happens when you harden your heart. toward God and his purpose for you. And they cannot turn to me and let me heal them. God's saying, here, look, if you don't understand it, you can do this yourself. You don't need me. Listen, turn whatever it is that you're trying to understand, turn it into something you already understand and take the same principle. In other words, all right, a family, right? I have a brother from another mother. If you ever had anybody got a sister or brother from another mother, right? Yeah, my mom didn't have this person. But through my actual brother, my blood brother that I grew up with, I learned before he came, my other brother from another, I learned how to treat him as a brother because I had a brother already to show me how to do that. I know how to treat a mom because I already have a mom, right? So when you meet somebody else's mom, you're supposed to treat their mother like you treat your mom. Do that make sense? That's a parable for you. Okay? This is the finishing part. But blessed are your eyes because they see. When God, the Holy Spirit comes on you, and you receive the Holy Spirit, when you understand that you're a part of a greater awareness, a greater consciousness, and that a consciousness on a level that you can't even comprehend, when your eyes become open to that, you are blessed because they see, and your ears because they hear. You are blessed when you become a better observer of things. You want to be a better artist, stop talking so much. And look, notice in here, it didn't say nothing about nobody's mouth. It said eyes and ears. Even the best conversationalists in the world are considered the best conversationalists in the world. And why is that? Because they listen more than they talk. Constantly gathering information, right? And applying and breaking down things in their head and only speaking when necessary. It's necessary to speak when you have a question or when you want something. But just to be talking, no. I tell you the truth, and I'm done here after this. Many prophets and righteous people long to see what you see, but they didn't see it. Okay? There are many artists before me that wished that they could see the simplicity in the face that came only through me understanding and accepting that drawing a face is not as complicated as I made it. And I took all those notes, and if you look here, I made them all into something that I can relate to. Multiple person caricatures. I draw little spray can heads, right? How do I do a love scene, right? How do I do a superhero scene, right? Right? How do I draw bodies? How can I break them down, right? How can I make my bodies look flexible a little bit more? I understand paper, so I started using paper, right? To express that idea. You understand? Simplifies the body shape. Simplify the body shape, right? I use the wisdom of man is foolishness unto God. He will use the things he will use the things that are foolish of this world to confound the wise, to confound the wise person. I tell you the truth, many prophets, again, will long to see what you see, but didn't see it. And they long to hear what you hear, but they didn't hear it. Okay? So now he breaks down the part about why he told them that parable, and then we'll go ahead and get you guys out of here. Now listen to the explanation of the parable about the farmer planting seeds. The seed that fell on the footpath represents those who hear the message about the kingdom and don't understand it. So you went to church one time, you heard the message, didn't understand it. Okay, Then the evil one, listen, the devil comes and snatches away the seed that was planted in your heart. You got hyped up. I'm going to change my life today. And then the devil comes out with something and snatches away that seed from you. That one seed that was in your heart, so it's nothing left to grow. The seed on the rocky soil represents those who hear the message and immediately receive it with joy. Woo! I'm happy that I got this premonition from God today. But since they don't have deep roots, they haven't had enough yet of the world. You see, I can't change you. Only you can change you. People only change when they get to that wall where they say, I had enough. That's the only reason people change. I'm not doing it this way anymore. I'm doing it this way. But since they didn't have those kind of roots, they don't last long. They fall away as soon as they have problems, right? Or are persecuted for believing God's word, right? Finally, the seed that fell among the thorns represents those who hear God's word, but all too quickly, the message is crowded out by the worries of this life and the lure of wealth. So no fruit is produced. That's why I put a black line around. That was it. That I emphasize that because I fell right into that trap. This trap right here. Okay? I had God's word in my heart. I heard it, right? But as soon as I was met with, you could be a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? You can have women all over the world. You know what I mean? You can have Ferrari. You can have 15 mansions, right? No fruit is produced. The Bible is clear that in Christ, this exact words I'm paraphrasing, but not exact words, but I'm paraphrasing that I will show you how to do more by doing less, is what the word of God says. That's what Jesus said to the disciples. I will show you to do more by doing less. We don't need as much as we think we do in this life to have joy. The seed that fell on good soil, the last one, represents those who truly hear and understand God's word and produce a harvest of 30, 60, or even 100 times as much as has been planted. Remember, guys, everything is connected. If you want to learn to do something, take something and relate it to something in principle that's the same. And then you will understand it. If you're sitting across from a person and you want to understand them better, the word is relate to them. You get what I'm saying? The other day, yesterday, and I'm done, guys. My wife had my wife's sister came to visit. She bought a little niece of hers, a nephew, excuse me, and his name is Jude, right? And so I walked over to his table. We all went out to eat, and I says, "Hello, what's going on, Jude?" And I tried to shake my hand, and when I put my hand to shake out to him, he pulled his hand back and he stood back over me. He started looking at me like I was weird. All right, who is this guy? Well, you know what? I never met this guy before. I never met this little fella. He didn't know who I was. Then I related to him and I says, well, if somebody walks up to me and does that and I don't know you, I'm going to look at you the same way, right? I instantly related to him. And then guess what? I didn't become mad and say, oh, he's a spoiled little jerk, right? No. You see what I'm saying? So everything is connected, guys. Anyway, that's our stream for today, guys. I'm done. I have successfully got to the end, I think. I want to thank you guys for coming out today, sharing your time with me. I'm going to give you a little bit of information before we leave and get out of here. Again, if you want to take classes with me, you can take classes at rouserworld.com/classes. We can do a class together, right? Awesome, right? And I'll teach you some parables about drawing caricatures, right? Parables. Caricature parables. I'm going to write that down. I just thought about that. Caricature parables. I'm always thinking about something. Cool. So if you want to take a class with me, you want some parables about caricature, go to rouserworld.com/classes. Take a class with me. I'm looking forward to meeting you. The second thing is, guys, Patreon is our fan support page. If you are already a member of our Patreon page, first of all, we just want to say thank you. If you are considering doing that, this is some information for you. This is a way for us to sow back into our community by giving some lessons and things. And we know that people can't afford to go to a college or something like that sometimes. And with the way the student loan stuff is going now, right? So you want to learn something, you want to reinvent yourself. Hey man, caricatures are great living, especially for an artist that really doesn't know which way to point their energy. And then once you get started there, sky's the limit. But you got to start somewhere, right? All right. And then the next thing is, guys, if you'd like to tip today because you feel like you benefited from the stream, you want to sow back into us, thank you so much. We appreciate that. By the way, guys, Patreon is our fan support page. So that's another way you can sow into the community to keep these art lessons going for you guys. Okay. All right, guys. So thank you so much. You guys have a blessed and awesome day. Praying for you, praying for your families. And just remember, guys, everything is connected. If you don't understand, tell yourself a parable and make it clear. Okay? God loves you. We love you. Rouse the world, right? Me. Because you know what? That's what it's all about. And I'll see you guys in the next live stream. So we're going to go to the next live stream is going to be Saturday at 9:30 a.m. Unless I have an event that day, I'm not sure. Last weekend I had an event, but I'll try to get that stream out for you. So anyway, guys, y'all have a blessed and awesome day. And I'll see you guys next time. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead here. We'll end out. Hold on. Do. So we're going to end there. Awesome. Okay. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to get out of here, guys. So you guys have a good one.